Welcome back, everyone. It's time for another deep dive. Today we're going to be taking a look at The Whole Brain Child. It's a pretty popular book these days.
Yeah, it is.
And for good reason, I think.
I think so.
We've all heard this idea of like left brain, right brain. um, but this whole brain idea, it really kind of takes things to the next level.
Yeah, it does.
And offers some really practical advice for parents and educators and really anybody who works with kids.
I think what's really interesting about this book is it really shifts the focus from just the cognitive development
Yep.
to emotional intelligence.
Right.
Which is just as important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that maybe we haven't always focused on as much as we should.
Right.
It's always been like, oh, you got to get good grades and you got to,
Hey, be smart, be smart.
do smart. Yeah.
But there's this whole other side.
Yeah. There's this whole other side. And that's, I think, really what this book is all about is like how to nurture that emotional side of things.
Absolutely. And how to use that to actually help with cognitive development. It's not one or the other. It's both.
Right.
And they work together.
Yeah. So what does the book actually say about how these different parts of the brain work together?
So it emphasizes this idea of integrating the left and right hemisphere of the brain, but then also integrating what they call the upstairs brain and the downstairs brain.
Okay.
So the upstairs brain being the prefrontal cortex,
Lovely.
which is responsible for things like rational thinking and, decision-making planning.
Okay.
And then the downstairs brain is kind of the limbic system,
Okay.
which is all about, emotions and impulses and instincts.
Oh, got it.
So, you need both
Right.
to function properly.
Yeah.
It's like a car,
Yeah.
you can't just have an engine. You need a steering wheel too.
Right.
Yeah.
You need both. You need all the parts working together.
Yeah.
So why is this integration so important for a child's development?
So when these different parts of the brain are well integrated,
Okay.
children actually develop better emotional regulation, stronger relationships, enhanced problem-solving skills.
Wow.
And, they're able to navigate challenges with more resilience and empathy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because it's like if you're only thinking with your emotions,
Right.
then you're not really thinking clearly.
Exactly.
And if you're only thinking with your logic, then you're not really in touch with what you're feeling and what other people are feeling.
Yeah.
So you need that balance.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so the book gives like 12 strategies for promoting this integration. And I want to talk about a couple of them specifically.
Sure.
One that I think is really interesting and really practical is this idea of name it to tame it. So how does that work? I mean, we've all seen kids have tantrums, right?
Of course.
And sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, just stop crying.
Yeah.
But this is saying like, actually, there's a way to kind of help them through that process.
So when a child is having a tantrum, like their downstairs brain is like in overdrive,
Okay.
right? All those emotions are just like
It's flood.
taking over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so by helping them label those emotions, like you're actually activating their upstairs brain, you're bringing language and reasoning into it.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, stop crying, you say, you seem really frustrated right now.
Oh, I see.
And that actually strengthens the connections between those two areas of the brain.
So it's like you're building a bridge between the emotional and the rational.
Exactly. And that bridge gets stronger with practice.
Okay. Wow. That's really fascinating. Another strategy that I think is really interesting is engage, don't enrage.
Yes.
And this one seems to kind of flip the script on a lot of typical parenting approaches.
Right. Yeah.
It does.
So how does this work?
So instead of resorting to threats or punishments,
Okay.
which often trigger, that defensive reaction,
Right.
engage, don't enrage, really encourages parents to connect with their child's playful side.
Okay.
So, turn cleaning up into a game or a challenge.
Like make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really promotes cooperation and avoids those power struggles.
That's so interesting because I think a lot of times we as parents, we get so caught up in like,
Right.
we just want them to do what we want them to do.
Of course.
And we forget that.
And we forget that they're kids.
Yeah. And they want to have fun.
Exactly.
So it's like, how can we make this fun?
Yeah.
How can we make this a game?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a story in the book that I thought was really powerful about a child having a meltdown.
Right.
And the parent in the story, instead of just trying to shut down the emotion,
Yeah.
actually uses connection.
Yeah.
So how does that play out in the story? So the parent in the story actually gets down on the child's level,
Yeah. Oh.
acknowledges their feelings, and really tries to help them make sense of what's happening.
Yeah.
So they say something like, I know you're really upset right now. It's okay to feel that way. Let's figure out what's going on together.
Wow.
And that approach just validates the child's experience, and it creates a safe space for them to process their emotions.
That's so powerful. I think as adults, we need that,
Yes, we do.
to feel heard and understood.
Exactly.
And so to be able to give that to a child is just so important.
It is.
Yeah, and it's so much more effective than just saying, like, stop crying. Or,
Right, or you're being silly, or get over it.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because you're actually addressing the root of the problem,
Right.
which is the overwhelming emotion, rather than just trying to suppress the behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so another big thing that the book talks about is building resilience and empathy. Why are those skills so vital for kids, for their development?
So resilience enables children to bounce back from setbacks,
Okay.
navigate challenges with a positive outlook. And empathy allows them to understand and connect with others' feelings,
Mm-hmm.
which helps them build stronger relationships.
About it.
And these skills are just so crucial for their overall well-being and their future success.
I mean, life is full of challenges.
Exactly.
And if you don't know how to deal with them,
You're going to have a hard time.
yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
So how can we nurture those qualities in kids?
So we can help children connect their memories,
Okay.
emotions, and thoughts. And that helps foster self-awareness. When they make a mistake, guide them to see it as a learning opportunity.
Okay.
Encourage them to identify their feelings and understand how their actions might affect others.
Right.
And most importantly, model empathy and resilience ourselves.
Oh, that's a good one.
Children learn best from what they observe.
It's like that saying, children learn what they live. Yeah, so to wrap up here, what are some key takeaways that our listeners can implement, like, right away?
So just remember that every interaction is an opportunity to nurture whole brain development.
Okay.
Use name it to tame it, to help regulate emotions, engage children proactively, to encourage cooperation, and prioritize building strong emotional connections through validation and empathy.
I love it. So imagine a world where all kids had these whole brain skills. I mean, what could that look like?
It'd be amazing.
It would be pretty amazing. So keep that in mind as you use these strategies. This has been your deep dive into the whole brain child. See you next time.